Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where we're at?
We are in Psalms. And
no, we are not
No, we're not in...
Psalms.
Jesus. God. I suck. No, we're in Proverbs.
We are in Proverbs.
We're only this is the third episode in. I'm still my brain has to transition. And it hasn't quite gotten there yet.
Sure.
So
and Proverbs are a little bit better than Psalms, I think we decided thus far.
Yeah, I think I as far as, being able to have some feedback for what they're saying, it feels a little bit more meaty.
It's readable.
Yeah.
The readability factor is there.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I think yesterday we read chapters 4 through 6.
Correct.
And we're in the midst of a set of 9. Is that correct?
Yes. The first 9 Proverbs are the Didactic Discourses. And so we're finishing those up today.
We're finishing them up? Oh, yeah. Because
we're on 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect.
So, because Proverbs is a collection of collections.
Got it.
So we are finishing the first collection.
Got it. All right, so you ready to get into this then?
I am.
Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right, we are in Proverbs chapter 7.
Okay.
My son.
My son.
My son.
Okay.
Keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. That actually, okay, I'm just going to interrupt myself.
Sure. Okay.
There was a brief little note about it that it translated to little man in the eye.
Really?
Like a little person in your eye, like that's running the machine,
Interesting.
Yeah, but
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I
thought that was interesting.
Well, I was going to ask, like, do you get they want you to store all this stuff in yourself or whatever? Do you get like a floppy disk or something? I get those that are outdated.
Yeah,
but what do you call them now? They're the USB drive. You get like a thumb drive, right?
Yeah, you give it to the guy in your eye.
And he's got a thumb drive holder.
He's got an apple.
Just insert it right into the eye there, huh?
He's got an apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Apple, huh? Okay.
Apple of your eye.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. See? You got a tablet in your heart.
I see.
See? Say to wisdom, you're my sister. And to insight, you're my relative.
Wait, we got insight now? We got wisdom and insight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do.
Did we have insight in the last chapter?
I don't think so.
I thought there was something else.
I had a note about the various people that we meet today. So
okay.
I don't think we met anybody but wisdom personified.
Got it.
Yesterday.
Personifying a lot of interesting things.
It's very Greek of them. They will keep you from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words.
You always got to worry about those adulterous, seductive women with the honey on their lips.
That bitch with the honey.
The fucking honey.
That bitch with the honey better stay back. I'm going to punch her in the twat.
Why do they always got to have honey on their lips?
Stay away from my man. At the window of my house, I looked down through the lattice.
Okay.
So now this is
the person.
The author, not the author, the narrator is telling a story, a proverb, if you will.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. An anecdote.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So at the window of my house, I looked down through the lattice. I saw among the simple. I noticed among the young men a youth who had no sense. So he's talking to the dum-dums. He's like, oh, look at that group of dum-dums. Oh, and among that group of dum-dums, there's this one kid.
This is the guy that like shakes his cane at you and tells you to get off your fucking lawn.
Get off my lawn! Yeah, this kid, he was going down the street near her corner, walking along in the direction of her house at twilight.
Not twilight.
As the day was fading. He's going to whorehouse.
Okay. Yeah.
As the dark of night set in. Then out came a woman to motherfucking meet him.
No fucking way. Was she a seductress?
She was dressed like a prostitute.
Fucking hell, what is he gonna do?
With crafty intent.
Jesus Christ, not crafty intent.
Yes.
Fuck.
She did.
Okay.
She is unruly and defiant, and you can tell this looking through your window. You just look at her and you can tell she is unruly and defiant. Her feet never stay at home. That bitch always in these streets.
Shit. Does she have honey on her lips?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay,
He's still talking about her fucking feet.
Got it.
Now in the street, now in the squares, at every corner she lurks. She's a lurker.
Those corners, those bad places.
Don't
go to those corners.
This is my corner. Get your own. She took hold of him. Damn.
Jeez.
And kissed him.
Not that. Oh my God. This guy is such he did not stay on that straight path.
Okay, but let me tell you what. If you are walking down the road and some bitch comes up and kisses you, you better shove her into the grass and be like, bitch, I don't care that you are a woman. You do not assault me like that.
Right.
That is molestation. You don't just walk up to people and fucking kiss them.
Right.
Like, shit, man. I ask permission to hug somebody, like, the first time I meet them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a hugger. I love hugging.
But let's be honest. You can't really walk up to somebody and kiss them unless they allow for that to happen. Generally, unless they're really, really fucking forceful.
Well, that's what they're saying. She's forceful. She's defiant. She's unruly. She's out here in these streets.
I call some bullshit on that.
He is telling us that this bitch, she grabbed him.
Well, it sounds to me like he was calling the kid dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he's a simpleton. He was just walking to the whorehouse.
This kid just allowed it to happen because he was so dumb.
He was walking to the whorehouse. And then
there's this woman. I mean, she was on corners and shit.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? She was on fucking corners.
Yeah. I don't know why he was walking that direction, but he shouldn't have been. Today. Oh, wait. She kissed him, and with a brazen face, she said, "Today, I fulfill my vows. And I have food from my fellowship offering at home. So I came out to meet you. I looked for you and I have found you." Oh, here come her honey lips.
Okay.
She's like lying and like slurp, slurp, baby.
Yeah, right.
"I have covered my bed with colored linens from Egypt."
Oh, damn.
See, now we would say it's
she's
500 thread count, you know? "I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon."
She's pitching hard here. She's like,
my bed smells good.
Like, this is,
My punani does not stink.
Right. She's putting on the hard sell here.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. "Come, let's drink deeply of love till morning." Oh, I like that phrasing. Drink deeply of love till morning.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a really nice way of saying let's have so much sex.
But it does sound like, to me, that she's asking him to do things.
Let's enjoy ourselves with love. Oh, shit. Guess what the next sentence says?
What?
"My husband is not at home."
Oh.
That was not a whorehouse.
No,
that was a house.
Yeah. Okay.
So
she's just an adulteress.
She's
apparently.
just a skank.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knew?
Well, whatever. I mean, you know.
She's lonely. He has gone on a long journey, and she needs something to fill her up.
Right? Yeah.
"He took his purse filled with money and will not be home till full moon."
I don't know how long that is, but it sounds like it must be a long time.
So she's like, "Oh no, he left me bereft with no dollars. Do you have any? I'll fuck you." With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. Yeah, she did that. He had nothing to do with it.
Not at all. No.
Nope, he was a prisoner.
Yeah. He was just a dumb kid, you know?
Honey is sticky.
He was led astray off that straight path. He went crooked.
He walked by that lady's house.
He went left when he should have gone straight.
Yeah.
So...
All at once, he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping into a noose, till an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life.
Damn.
She is married, so if the husband finds out that she fucked
right, but I don't think that's why, though. I feel like this is because it's like not the straight path.
Well, there's two threats here. And they went into this in the last set of chapters, that there's two threats. One is the physical harm that will happen to you should the husband find out. He's gonna take your land. He's gonna hurt you. He might even kill you, and it will be fine if that happens.
Right.
So watch your shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other is like the spiritual punishment, which is going to hell and stuff like that.
Got it.
So she could doubly ruin him.
Okay.
"Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her paths."
Oh, okay.
Don't go past her house.
Right.
Don't offer to mow her lawn. Okay? Many are the victims she has brought down. Her slain are a mighty throng.
Wow.
I've
got to wonder why God would allow this, quote unquote bad person to continue to live. Because I thought, based on things that they said about God, or God said in Psalms and some other chapters, that he would just, kill them.
Yeah.
So
that's what I thought.
If they're a bad person.
Yeah.
And all.
Yeah.
So, but apparently not.
I don't think she's bad. She just likes sex.
Right. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
I don't know their marriage. Like, seriously.
I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do.
No.
But, I mean, it's not like she's murdering people.
She's just cheating on her husband.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I say that like it's fine to cheat on your husband.
Well, but
like, I don't know your story.
Yeah.
If you are out there roaming the roads and you got somebody at home, you have problems at home probably.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's my thinking.
Right, more than likely.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
I don't know how to transition sometimes, and so I just keep like going.
Right.
Her house is a highway to the grave, leading down to the chambers of death. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So Proverbs chapter 7 notes. We are still, as you pointed out, in the Didactic Discourses, which we are finishing up today.
Yeah.
Okay. The wiles of a harlot, warning against adulteresses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This chapter has the following structure. Verses 1 through 5 are parental instruction to accept teaching against the wiles of the harlot.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wisdom, with a capital W, is to be treated as a sister or a bride.
Right.
To counter the attraction to the adulteress.
Okay.
So use your brain.
So dumb kids just have an innate disadvantage already.
Right.
So.
Because men's brains don't finish developing fully until they're in their, mid-20s? Early 20s?
I don't know. 60s? Who knows?
All right. The next set of verses, 6 through 27, is the crafty harlot. And we get an example story on the wiles of the harlot, so a proverb.
Yeah.
And then the concluding instruction to avoid the harlot.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I thought this note was interesting, and this applies to all three of these chapters.
Okay.
Some early manuscripts containing the text of this chapter and the next two.
Yeah.
In Hebrew are of Masoretic text.
Okay.
Which includes the Aleppo Codex and Codex Leningradensis. Okay.
Sure.
So they're the documents they found in Aleppo and in Leningrad.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they call them Codex whatever city they were found in.
Okay. Yep.
Fragments containing parts of these chapters in Hebrew were found among the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about that?
Those I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going into chapter 8.
Okay.
Proverb number 8. Okay. Does wisdom call you out? Oh, wait. Does not wisdom call you out?
I have not heard from wisdom recently. And that it's not,
Does your brain tell you, ugh?
Sure. I don't know.
Does
Whatever.
not understanding raise her voice? Now, understanding is a separate person from wisdom. We
Much
did
like
discuss
insight
that.
was
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
okay.
No, but you were right. We talked about wisdom
and understanding
last night being separate from understanding.
Okay.
And now, so insight is who we've been in.
Sure. Introduced to.
Introduced to. I could not get that word out. I was like, instruction, no. Invited, no. Introduction.
Yeah.
Okay. At the highest point along the way where the paths meet, she takes her stand. She being understanding.
Okay.
Beside the gate leading into the city, at the entrance, she cries aloud, "To you, O people, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. Listen, for I have trustworthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness." I never understand people who say, "Trust me."
Right, because if you're talking to people who would trust you, they would trust anybody, really, if you said, "Trust me," right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the problem with society today, isn't it? Like, people just trust idiots and, because they're like, "This is the truth. I'm telling the truth."
The speaker doesn't get to be the one that declares themselves as fair or as honest
Tell
or
Trump
as
that.
trustworthy. I mean, my ex used to say, I'm being fair.
Right. No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like, people say that all the time. That is a thing that people use.
And, like, I had to explain, like, no, fairness is an objective thing that we can look at on paper. Like, it can be quantified. You don't get to just tell me that you're being fair and then I take your word for it.
To you, that's what it is. Not to everybody that's out there in the world. Yes, I agree with you. It is something that can be put on paper and be quantified. But people don't have always the best gauge for what is fair and what is true. So it's hard to lay that out as a fact.
No, I know. So I know. It just, how do you I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's so frustrating when somebody declares themselves fair or trustworthy. I'm just like, you don't get to do that. We, the viewers, we judge you as such.
Yeah.
We tell you if we think you are fair or trustworthy.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, you can't just like walk around being like, I'm awesome. Like, are you? All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. Just believe me, because I said so.
They're spending an awful lot of time trying to sell how correct and just they are.
Honest. I'm so fucking honest.
Yeah.
Do you believe me? To the discerning, all of them are right. They are upright to those who have found knowledge. With a capital K.
Okay.
Choose my instruction instead of silver. Knowledge rather than choice gold, as opposed to that unchoice gold.
Sure. Yeah.
Some gold is better than others.
Right.
For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her.
Okay.
I want to fuck the shit out of wisdom. I mean, if wisdom personified was walking down the road and she had honey on her lips, I would fuck her. I'm just telling you that.
There you go. See.
Because wisdom has something to offer.
Apparently more than rubies, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Wisdom, dwell together with prudence.
Oh, now we're meeting prudence, huh? Okay.
I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. Well, that jumped a track.
Okay.
I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior, and perverse speech. Isn't it prideful to go around boasting that you're honest and trustworthy
really is,
and righteous?
Yeah. I don't. This isn't sitting well with me because most people that tell me how wonderful and right they are, I immediately don't think that of them.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
This has the opposite effect on me.
Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have insight. I have power. By me, kings reign and rulers issue decrees that are just. By me, princes govern and nobles, all who rule on earth. I love those who love me. Oh, I can relate to that. I too love those who love me because I'm a needy fuck. And seriously, like, if you like me, you could be the biggest asshole, but if you like me, then I instantly like you. Because I like being liked.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay? It validates me.
I see.
And those who seek me, find me. Peekaboo.
Okay. All right.
With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver.
Didn't they already say this? Okay.
I walk in the way of righteousness along the paths of justice, bestowing a rich inheritance on those who love me and making their treasuries full. Oh, this is so sickening.
Right.
Your lips are full of honey, bitch.
Well, it's just that they downplayed choice gold and rubies and all this stuff. Like, I'm better than these things, but I'm going to bring you these things.
Yeah.
So, like, which is it? Like, I don't...
Am I supposed to shun these things? Or
right. Like, how do I know when it's okay to have these things?
To want riches.
Versus, I get it. They're trying to say that wisdom will bring these things if you just allow yourself to be taught by wisdom and smart and all that wonderful shit. But I mean, the way they're pitching it is not, it sounds like a greasy salesman.
It really does. It sounds like, what's that word? Grift. It sounds like a grift. The Lord brought me forth as the first of his works before his deeds of old. I was formed long ages ago at the very beginning when the world came to be. When there were no watery depths, I was given birth. When there were no springs overflowing with water. Before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was given birth. Before he made the world or its fields or any of the dust of the earth. I was there when he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizon on the face of the deep.
So I'm gathering that they left some shit out in Genesis then.
Yes,
Okay.
Indeed.
All right.
When he established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea its boundary so the waters would not overstep his command, and when he marked out the foundations of the earth.
So wait, water only stays in because God commands it to stay there? Otherwise it would just come out.
So that's why God is getting rid of Florida. Got it. Then I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence, rejoicing in his whole world and delighting in mankind. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Do not disregard it. Okay, assholes?
Yeah.
Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. How do you, if you're just walking down the street, how do you know which house has the whore in it versus which house has wisdom in it?
Right, yeah,
Can
I don't
you
know.
tell from their curtains or from
Maybe.
the flowers in their garden bed?
I don't know.
Like, how can you tell?
If you're not already, if you already haven't found wisdom, right?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to know? That's
Right.
the problem, right?
Like, you're just walking around, like,
It's just potluck.
You moved into the neighborhood and you're knocking on doors.
Right.
You know?
What if you get the harlot first?
It's not your fault. I
right.
don't think.
You were seeking
wisdom,
wisdom, but you found honey on some chick's lips.
Yeah.
So
and
whatever.
She, just like you, was telling me how awesome she was. Bitches are liars. Wait, what does Seth Meyers say? He says, black women and lesbians are liars.
Right. You should probably put that in context.
I should probably put that in context. On what is Seth Meyers' show?
The late show or something?
No,
I don't know.
late. Is it?
I don't know. It's one of those late shows.
It's one of those late night shows.
Yeah.
He always does a segment called Jokes Seth Can't Tell.
Right.
And so he'll read the setup, and then if it's a gay joke, his writer, Jenny, will finish it with the knockout, and she's gay, so it's quote unquote okay. And then if he tells a black joke, then Amber Ruffian will do the knockout. Right. And, it's okay, quote unquote, because she's black.
And then they encourage him to tell a joke at the end.
And they're like, it'll be fine. And he's like, I really feel like I shouldn't. And so then, of course, he tells the joke and they both gasp and clutch their pearls because he's told this horribly insulting, racist, or gay-bashing joke. And it's not funny. And so then he's like, black women and lesbians are liars because they threw him under the bus.
As a joke.
Right. Yeah. So it's a bit. It's a whole bit.
Right.
And if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend that you watch it. They're on YouTube. They're funny.
They are on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Do not disregard it. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. Somehow you tell me apart from the harlot.
I guess, yeah.
For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord. But those who fail to find me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. The end.
See here, the whole time I thought you only had to find God, but now you got to find wisdom and insight and prudence and what the fuck? How many goddamn people do I got to find before I can be all right?
Jesus. Don't forget to find Jesus.
Well, that's later on, but whatever.
Right. Okay, so Proverbs chapter 8 is still part of the Didactic Discourses.
Yep.
And this chapter was the excellence and eternity of wisdom, and it's also called Wisdom's Call. Okay. Mm-hmm. This chapter contains wisdom's so-called second speech, because we heard the first speech in chapter 1.
Got it. Yeah.
So this is like wisdom's re-up.
Got it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. In chapter 1, though, wisdom proclaims her value. And then in chapter 3, wisdom is the agent of creation. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here in this chapter, wisdom is personified as a self-conscious divine being, distinct but subordinate to God.
Got it.
So she's not just a personification of a trait. She is also a minor deity kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay.
And I think ultimately they're trying to say that you have to have these quote unquote traits, wisdom, prudence, etc., insight,
Use your
in
brain.
order to find in order to find God, right?
Right. Enlightenment.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what they're ultimately driving it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the way they're pitching, the way they're saying this is just so. It's so funny.
Well, here's where we go down a rabbit hole of what took me so long this evening that I did not anticipate having to take a couple extra minutes for my research.
Okay, sure.
Okay. This chapter is very significant in Gnosticism. You know, those Gnostics.
Yeah.
Yeah. They take wisdom to be referring to Sophia. Who's Sophia, you ask?
Right.
The divine feminine incarnation of wisdom and truth. So we're getting into some of that old Greek stuff again.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, wait, who is Sophia? And I need to know a little bit more about her.
Sure.
Okay. Sophia in Greek is wisdom and is a major theme along with capital K knowledge among many of the early Christian knowledge theologies grouped as Gnostikoi.
Okay.
Meaning knowing or men that claimed to have deeper wisdom. Okay. So it's kind of like the intellectual. Gnosticism is like the intellectual spiritualists.
Got it.
Okay. And anyway, they had all these Greek personifications of traits.
Yeah.
And Sophia was the one for wisdom. And Gnosticism in and of itself is a 17th century term. So we're talking 1600s.
Sure.
Okay. In Gnosticism, Sophia is a feminine figure analogous to the human soul, but also simultaneously one of the feminine aspects of God.
Okay. Oh.
Of God. Yes.
So
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I see where your brain is headed.
Right.
Next paragraph, please. Gnostics held that she was the syzygy, which I will explain that term in a minute.
Okay.
The female twin divine eon. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute.
Jesus Christ.
Of Jesus. Okay. And the Holy Spirit of the Trinity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, hold on. What? Okay. In many Gnostic systems, various emanations of God are known by such names as one with capital O.
Okay.
Monad. Aeon, Pythos, which means depth or profundity, Proarche, meaning before the beginning, Arche, meaning the beginning, and eons.
Okay.
Aeons.
Got it. Yeah.
And these different entities, they form male and female pairs, which is called a syzygy.
Okay.
So to go back to what I said, Gnostics held that Sophia was the syzygy of Jesus. She was the female half of Jesus.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
So they were one and the same, but also separate, but the same person, but like cut in half kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that.
And this is where the pastor that we used to know, where he was talking about the female and the male side of
God. The same God.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, I was like, I see your brain going that way.
That's interesting.
And I had never heard of this stuff till he said it, and now I'm like, that doesn't seem like it would be in the Bible. And if it was, like, what? But it's like Bible adjacent.
Okay. There's a lot of Bible adjacent stuff. I mean, we could spend the rest of our lives going down
studying
fucking
Greek.
Rabbit holes.
This is all Greek stuff.
Sure.
And that's where all of this stems from, basically.
Right. I gotcha.
Sophia is considered to have fallen from grace in some way, much like, say Lucifer or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And in so doing, either created or helped to create the material world. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm done with that. I put her on our list of rabbit holes to get into for maybe like a separate episode because I was like, I need Sophia in my life.
That sounds like a deep
dive rabbit hole.
Yes.
So the structure of this chapter involves 3 cycles of wisdom's invitation. We get the first invitation, the second invitation, we get wisdom's hymn, and then we have a third invitation. Okay? And that's it.
Got it. Okay.
So now I'm going to read chapter 9, and there aren't a lot of notes for chapter 9 because the interesting ones was the ones I just said.
Got it, yeah.
So let's just bring this home, okay? And we're going to finish up this book.
Okay.
This collection.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Chapter 9. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city, let all who are simple come to my house. Come thee hither, you dum-dums.
Wait, wisdom, who you have to get to know God, has servants.
Yes.
Okay.
And she sent them out.
I'm just double checking.
She wants to fuck the dum-dums.
Right.
She's inviting them in.
She wants to wisdom up the dum-dums.
She wants to feed them dinner.
Right.
She cooked meat.
Yeah.
She wants to ply them with wine and sex.
Right. Oh.
Brain sex.
Yeah, right.
To those who have no sense, she says, come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways and you will live. Walk in the way of insight. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. Corrects a mocker.
What?
Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise and they will love you.
Oh, I mean, I kind of get that.
This is the don't get down in the dirt with the pigs because then that makes you just as dirty and you're a pig too.
Yeah.
Don't fight with a dum-dum because you're arguing with a dum-dum.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
No, I totally agree with that actually, but it's really hard not to do sometimes.
Well, the way it was phrased, I was like, a mocker, whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. And see, I disagree with that. Like, if you are at a stand-up comedian show kind of thing, like stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah.
And there's a mocker.
Right.
You tell that heckler to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Right? So you do indeed correct the mocker.
Yes, but I think generally speaking, you are inviting insults and stuff if you do try to go down that road. Now, if you already are aware of that and you choose to do it anyway, that's your own thing.
I'm just saying, like, people paid to hear this show, which is me telling jokes, not you, a heckler, who are disturbing this, what's happening. So bouncer be bounced, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, do not rebuke mockers or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise and they will love you. Because a person who is wise doesn't mind being corrected because they are just interested in knowing more and learning better.
Yeah.
Instruct the wise and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous and they will add to their learning. I feel like me and you do this. Like, we try to acknowledge when we have fucked up and go back and correct it. And we don't mind being called out because we want to get it right and we want to know more.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this. Genuinely, I have some discussions online with people who I completely disagree with. And as long as they keep it civil and have a discussion with me, I actually really enjoy that because sometimes I learn something from them that I didn't know before, you know, and I don't mean that I am switching sides and not going to become that person.
Right.
But people do have things to offer, you know, and I say this a ton, but I do feel like most people that you disagree with outside of social media and outside of just, you know, yelling and whatever, I think that most people, you could probably sit down and have a cup of coffee with them and come to an understanding on something, you know, and it's not an easy thing to get over, especially if they're sitting in front of you wearing a MAGA hat or something like that.
I was just going to say, like, this is coming awfully close to hug a Nazi.
But, you know, I'm kind of on that camp of, I'm on that side of things.
You are much kinder than I am, like, but I don't have the wherewithal. I cannot.
Right.
Like, I would not be able to, I'm not a good enough person. I'm not a strong enough person to be able to hold my tongue and not say something.
I genuinely feel that most people mostly just perceive viewpoints incorrectly and have been brainwashed to get to where they are, that the ones that I don't agree with. And you know what, to some extent myself too. I'm not going to say that there's not things that I'm not brainwashed on. I'm sure there are.
Right.
But that's the whole point of why I feel like it's important to sit down and talk with people sometimes, because I don't think that they even know how they got. If you talk to them, they wouldn't know how they got to this point of view.
Right.
They need a different type of interaction to draw that out.
Sure.
So That's all.
Well,
That's
there's room for all of us, and I'm glad that you're on that side and you do what you do, because I don't have that in me.
Right.
Like, I'm literally incapable.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with you being the nicer of us.
I'm not saying it's nicer. It's just
you're kinder. I'm softer.
Sure.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, I cried at fucking Doctor Who today. You know?
Right.
And I've seen this episode more than once. Okay. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through wisdom your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you are a mocker, you alone will suffer. Those fucking mockers.
Yeah.
Folly is an unruly woman. She is simple and knows nothing.
Oh, man, that damn Folly.
She sits at the door of her house on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Let all who are simple come to my house. Well,
how the fuck are you? That's what wisdom was doing.
That's what wisdom said.
How can you both be doing the same thing and the simple are supposed to know which one's which?
I'm simple. So how am I supposed to tell? Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Dumb.
This is dumb and I hate it.
Right.
To those who have no sense, she says, stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there.
Oh, damn.
She got her house
the dead
haunted.
Are there. Damn, she got zombies.
What? That her guests are deep in the realm of the dead.
It's gonna be like a zombie orgy.
I'm not going in that house. I'm like, I hear a noise in the basement. I'm not going to investigate.
Right.
I am calling the cops.
But you know what? If it is a zombie orgy, they've got the moaning bit down. So that part's...
yeah, that does sound like a
right,
zombie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that finishes up the first collection.
Oh.
Let me see what notes I have. Ready?
Sure, I'm ready.
Okay, so this is the last of the Didactic Discourses. It's about wisdom and the foolish woman, invitations of wisdom and of folly. Okay. This chapter concludes the first collection of the Book of Proverbs by presenting the final appeals of both wisdom and folly to the simpletons or naive people, the dum-dums as I call them.
Right.
In the contrasting style of rival hostesses inviting people to dine in their respective houses.
But again, how the fuck are they supposed to know?
Right? Like, if you are just new to the neighborhood, you're walking down the street, and you've got two fine-ass ladies both calling out to you, come eat my wares. How am I supposed to know which one is wisdom and which one is folly?
Well, I feel like this whole scenario, and I'm going to bring this back into the realm of politics a little bit here, because I feel like this whole scenario plays out with like the Trump-Biden thing, right? Mm-hmm. And how the simpletons are generally going to flock to the braggart, the guy who's louder, who's more,
and they do,
whatever. Mm-hmm. And the wisdom is the Biden, right? In a sense.
We'd rather maybe have somebody a little less centrist and
sure. And let's admit he's fucking boring,
Yeah.
So I mean, for the other than the dark Brandon shit.
Sorry to hate on Biden. I don't hate on Biden. I just whatever.
But comparatively speaking, if you compare Biden next to Trump, Trump is definitely more of a showman.
Oh yeah,
than
definitely.
Biden is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how you expect the simple person to. I hate to admit this, but I don't see how you expect the simple person to bypass this show. Right. And go to the other.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's not.
One is a circus and the other one is in bed by 8 p.m. The sidewalks rolled up. Like, which one are you going to? I'm going to the circus, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
No,
but it is the way it is. Mm-hmm. So it actually relates really well to what we just read, I think.
You got to try harder. You got to come outside yourself and research.
Yeah.
Which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn the Bible.
And
so that we can
know more.
Know more.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talk to the dum-dums. And on that note.
No shade. Yeah. All right, guys.
Oh, no, I wasn't calling our listeners dum-dums.
I didn't think you were calling. No, I was anybody who's listening that's, not on our team of atheism.
Oh.
There are people out there that are pastors listening to us.
Are there hate listeners? Or
I don't know that they're hate listeners, but there are pastors listening to us.
Okay. Well, okay.
So I'm just saying, no shade,
Sorry I called you a dum-dum. I thought that you were saying, like, no shade, like, as though I was calling listeners, like, our listeners, fans, dum-dums.
Okay.
And I'm like, wait, no, that's not, I just meant we're learning so that we can talk to dum-dums easier.
I'm saying no shade in regards to people who are religious. Okay?
Okay.
I am okay with people being religious. In a general roundabout sense. I'm okay with it until it reaches a point where it affects my life, my kids' life, this world that we live in, and anything regarding anything other than your own personal belief.
Keep your faith to yourself.
Keep your faith to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is that if you have a personal faith, no shade.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
And don't murder people and don't be a pedo. The end.
Right. Yeah, all that shit. But anyway, that was our...
Y'all don't text and drive.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Okay.
That was our podcast for today.
That was our podcast for today.
We read, 6 through 9.
7 through 9.
7 through 9. I'm really off today. And then, so tomorrow we'll be starting a new collection, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the breakdown of that is yet. So,
but if it holds true, we'll be reading maybe 2 to 3.
2 to 3, yeah.
Tomorrow.
So probably 10 and 11, maybe 12.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you guys then.
Yep, bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.